Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is the Caroline Arnold, and also a battered woman that survived. I was sitting here thinking over my life, like I always do, giving God praise and glory, like I always do. But I wanted to come on here to encourage someone that is going through or been through abuse. People don't realize when you have been through abuse, there are still some things that you are fighting, maybe fighting the demon or whatever it is. And I went through 18 years of abuse. Almost died in my marriage twice. And I was able to live and tell my truth of it. My realm of everything, we all go through different things, right? We all have got a purpose for different purposes. So my journey is a spiritual realm that I went through. My father, he prophesied me to write a book about my life, everything I went through. First thing I asked my father, how I'm going to get it published. He said, don't worry about getting it published. Just do what the Lord said do. So I waited probably about 12 or 13 years later. It might have been less than that. Before I wrote my first book, which is called A Battered Woman That Survived. I got picked up by a publishing company out of New Jersey. So I'm on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple Store, iTunes, Target, and I'm also Walmart. I have my second volume that is coming out. I'm still working on it, still trying to get through the process, still trying to push. When you have been abused, there's a lot of things that you still go through, whether it's PTSD, whether it's anxiety or depression, whether, you have your good days, your bad days, you're still thinking about what you went through, all of that. So I'm saying all this to say that when you have been abused, and when you talk about that abuse, when you tell your truth about that abuse, you need to be mindful of things or what people going to say or how they're going to treat you or this and this and that. Because I was that type. I was wondering what people, was people going to judge me? But I stood on my truth. I knew what I went through. I had other witnesses that seen what I went through, right? So if a person has been abused, you want to be consistent of telling what you went through. You want to be consistent of how God brought you through. And I'm saying this to say this: when you have been abused, you are going to have a testimony behind it. You're going to be able to tell the world how God brought you through. It wasn't that you brought yourself through it, but it was how God brought you through it. And with that being said, I'm a testimony of the goodness of what God has brought me through. He has carried me. He has kept me. He has given me testimonies to tell somebody else that if God can keep me, sometimes he will keep who he allows to keep. Sometimes some people don't make it out. I was blessed to be able to make it out. Like I said, I almost died twice in the marriage. But my father, rest his soul, passed away almost 3 years ago. He seen what the Lord had for me. And I couldn't see the vision. I couldn't see the ordinance of what God had for my ministry. So I want to tell someone, even though I also almost committed suicide, but this is to encourage someone on today. If you have got a bowed down head and you feel like that your back is up against the wall and God has done moved everybody out of your way, keep pushing, keep pressing, keep believing, keep speaking life into yourself. And that's what I done. I kept speaking life into myself. I kept saying that I was the head and not the tail. I was rich and not poor. I was first and not last. Even when people laughed at me when I was going through and said that, ooh, she's bipolar, or she's acting bipolar, because I wouldn't tell them my business, right? So all of those people that laughed, they're going to be judged for it. They're going to be held accountable for it. So I'm telling the ones that is going through, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, because some men get abused as well, stay encouraged. You may be in that abuse for a season, but keep the faith. I was in my season for 18 years, and Jesus could have brought me out, but he didn't. I had to be grounded. Like I said, he moved everybody away where I would have to just look up at him. So tell your truth. Be consistent. Let people know that this is what you went through and this is how God brought you out of it. If you all are not following my platform, follow me over on The Battered Woman That Survived, also on Karen Lane Arnold. If you haven't purchased my book, I would love your support. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple Store, iTunes, Target, and also I'm on Walmart. And also have a second volume of that book coming out. So you all stay tuned. Come to my page and say, I heard your testimony. I want to get to know you a little bit better. On The Battered Woman That Survived, I will be bringing different testimonies out of my book. So if you haven't purchased that copy, go ahead and purchase it. It ain't that much. You can go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple Store, iTunes, Target, and also Walmart. Talk to you all later. Love you. Bye.